Cool. Are you ready?
Yeah. Alright. So, my idea is Area 51 and aliens. The title is still to be confirmed, but basically it's going to be an interactive documentary, and the idea is we begin in space with sort of like a satellite or something looking down the Earth, and a UFO will pass, and then we'll sort of have those sort of futuristic, like, you know, the Iron Man helmet buttons. There's an example later on, so the viewer can choose which they want to hear about first, and then if they select the Earth, then it will zoom down over America, where they'll be able to click either the Nevada desert or a small town called Roswell, where there was allegedly a UFO crash a few years ago, and Area 51 is in the Nevada desert, so they'll be able to hear facts about each one of those. And if they click the UFO, then they can hear facts and opinions about alien life and conspiracy theories and stuff. So I'm planning to use Echo to create and deliver it, and it'll also be put up via my website, so it can be more widely accessible and easily shared. So the way it's going to look is, like I said, that sort of Iron Man helmet look for the buttons, just playing into that sci-fi sort of futuristic look of it. Then the interactive map, where it will be on America, and the viewer will be able to select where they want to click, and that would be the view of the Earth before they've clicked on it, with a UFO or something maybe in the top left, and that's just a Google Maps aerial view of the, I think that's the Grand Canyon. So then, the way I'm going to do this is, it will be in the expository mode, because there'll be a voiceover and a narration going on throughout. I managed to get a professor to talk about it, but more about him later. So the way I'm going to do this will be use Google Earth Studio to create sort of the aerial footage, Blender, which is that program up there, which will be used to make the 3D assets, and once it's done it should look more like that. After Effects to put everything together, Premiere Pro to do the editing, and then all of the interactive features will be done in Echo, which we used in the last project. So, for my research, I looked at 2 interactive documentaries. Journey to the End of Coal, which was engaging and was telling a story, yet still factual, and then The Nature in City, which wasn't as engaging, but gave me the idea of using the interactive map and the clickable buttons. So then, the plan is, I've created a schedule, so I can keep everything to, you know, I can make sure I meet the deadline and everything's done stress-free. And over Easter, I'm planning to do my practical research, which will be, you know, test shots, model making, and this will basically mean I can stay ahead of the schedule, and things are quick and simple to get done after we come back from Easter. So the plan is, from the 1st to the 5th of April, I'll do my secondary research, which is now, but yeah, we're doing a bit of primary research as well with this focus group. Then my practical and production research will be done over Easter, which is the 8th to the 23rd of April. Then pre-production and production will happen between the 24th and the 19th of May, and then I should finish production, put it up, and then we'll move on to product testing, feedback and evaluation, which will be done basically with surveys to get feedback on it. So, Professor Dr. Stuart Clark did a bit of Googling, and I looked, and that name rang a bell, and I remembered he went to school with my dad, and was friends with him, and he's done a lot of articles on alien life and what he thinks of it. And so I asked my dad to message him, because he's still friends with him on Facebook, and he said yeah. So I'll be talking to him over Easter. Any feedback and questions? What do we, overall, how does the project seem to come together?
Yeah, it seems very
Right.
I think it could be maybe a little bit, because you're using lots of different kind of software, so it could be a bit confusing in a timescale as well.
Well, yeah, that's why I've planned to do lots of the practical research and preparation over Easter. So it means when we when we come to after Easter, we go to pre-production, production. I have all the assets there, and it's just a matter of finding the best one and compiling them. So production should be quite quick, because a lot of it would have been done before. If we get back through the PowerPoint thing, if we start from the beginning, we go through bit by bit. So, project concept, do you think that holds together quite well then?
I like it. I think that, like, my main concern is the research that you do and how you're going to make sure it's. I know it's kind of weird saying factual because it's kind of conspiracy theory, but kind of like I just wonder how you're going to make it balanced, or if you're going to try and not make it. If it's, you know, I know it's going to be entertaining, but how is it also going to be factual based on
it's going to be factual as well, which is why I have. The idea is that it's sort of that balance between what conspiracy theories and what's fantasy and the facts we have, which is why I have, you know, the Roswell incident, which is all about sort of people guessing or imagining that there was a UFO crash and everything there, and the government covering things up, and then we've also got the whole idea of aliens, and we have an actual scientific point of view on it.
From the professor?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyone else for this?
Yeah, what I was going to say about the idea, like, how did you come up with the idea in the first place?
It's something that's always interested me, and I think if it interests me, then it's most likely going to interest other people.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, I think it's probably very interesting to see conspiracy theories then combined with fact, and still allowing the viewers to make up their own sort of opinion on it. Echo, yeah, we've used it before, so I'm confident with it. I know it's reliable. Anyone?
No.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when it comes to the actual interactive element of it, after the viewer has clicked onto either the Nevada desert or the little town, what else are you going to do? Are you going to just do still images, or are you going to add any more animation or what?
Yeah, it'd be a combination of still images, and with Google Earth Studio, you can have the camera move across for it. So there'll still be movement. There'll be animation footage, but it will very much become. At that point, it will sort of become. Sort of an image comes up. there'll be a narration or a diagram showing this. Then visuals and aesthetics.
I think that Bobby's got a really good point there. I think that's something that you need to work on in regards to this as well. So kind of we've got one kind of choice there that you're saying, but kind of really I think what would be a really useful thing for you to do is to create some kind of diagram where you had choice 1, choice 2, and maybe make something visual so you could see
well, that's the idea of the
pathways.
Map. Because originally the idea was they either click on Earth and it goes straight to Area 51, and there was only two topics there. Whereas now they can set the Earth and it takes them down. They have more. They then have subcategories.
Cool.
And they can then choose 2 areas of America.
I think for your sake though, it would be good to make a kind of pathway map.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So we can do it later on, but I'm thinking like, you know,
It's
maybe
like
get some post-it notes and whack them, and right,
Yeah.
if they choose there, they go here, then what happens? And then they're here, where do they go then? And I think that might be a good way of kind of, I think that Poppy's just raised a really good thing,
Yeah.
like where are the choices? What other choices do you get? What other elements other than like, where you focus on in your
sort
map?
of creating an interactive choice tree.
Yeah.
basically,
I think that would be a really good, useful thing. Well done, Poppy. That was a good little point.
Then, anyone else have anything about? So then, styles and techniques. I haven't. Ollie said he wanted some sort of proof of concept because I haven't actually begun
Yeah.
the.
I like the
If I was
idea.
doing this after Easter, I could show
Yeah,
some.
but I think in regards to the professor's voiceover,
Yeah.
I like that idea, but I think you need to make sure that he's introduced early on as a professor,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
that he's also an expert, so you know he's an expert.
Yeah.
Is he going to basically voice every angle?
No, he'll probably voice the UFO part, so about alien life and the facts surrounding that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, so who's going to voice the rest?
most likely be me,
Okay,
but.
and
again,
how are you valid? How are you a expert, or kind of how are you reliable?
I think I'm just speaking as the filmmaker there. I'm speaking as the filmmaker, and I've done my research. But I see your point, and maybe I'll have to think about, how, apart from, Stuart Clark, how else the information is going to get put across.
Charlie,
Yeah.
As well as the voiceovers, is any like added audio like they can click on or anything else?
We'll have sort of ambient sounds, and I don't think we'll have music or a soundtrack to it.
Yeah.
But there will be ambient sounds, and for example, when you click on, it's not there anymore, but when you click on the futuristic buttons and stuff, then there'll be sort of clicks and beeps to sound a bit computery. Then
these are really good examples, and I really like the way that you've used both of them to influence you. Well done.
Okay.
Cool. I'm going to cut you short in a minute,
That's
because otherwise
fine.
we're not going to have enough time.
Does anyone, do you feel that this is well thought out, or is there anything I could do to make it more efficient, or a better use of my time? There's planned. I've created the schedule so I know everything's.
Yeah. I think a little bit more, if you probably put it in there, but practical testing with the platform is probably a good, like the actual platform
testing.
platform. Like before you start your practical research, you're going to make all your models and things like that. But I think also the echo, you need to experiment with echo.
So in the sort of same similar category to test shots,
Yeah.
I'll also do testing stuff with echo. That's fine.
Yeah.
Timescales.
Yeah. Perfect.
And
Great.
we talked about him, and I go, yeah.
Perfect.
In terms of feasibility, will there be would it come across as biased with the professor?
Because it's one person's opinion, but then again, he's also presenting facts, from conducted by his research and, his peers' research. So it's going to be a combination of the two. So it's partly biased and partly factual.
I think as long as you recognise that there is a bias in there, but also the question factual when you're talking about aliens is really interesting, because do you know what I mean? It's like it's based on conspiracy theories, so it's kind of like
the whole thing is based off conspiracy theories, which is why I wanted to put the factual part in there.
Exactly. I think it's really clever as long as you recognise that there's the truth is perception.
Yeah.
So if you believe in aliens, then you're really more likely to believe what he's saying, and I think it's open to interpretation. You have to be aware that some of the audiences are going to be like, that's ridiculous because it's aliens. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be aware of that. Do you know what I mean? But it's the same point. Same with lots of documentaries. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah?
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Well done.